everybody. All right, everybody. All right, everybody. Now that y'all know that we are getting it started, okay, I wanted everybody to know that the it is here, okay? It is here. It is done. And I've gotten it completed. So y'all be knowing when I take off, it's time for me to get to work. I hadn't done no work in about over a year on this. I've been trying to get the office and everything together and stuff like that, okay? And so it is here for everybody. So I wanted everybody to know we got it started, okay? The Free R. Kelly petition is here. I'm going to show you guys just a minute. All right. You know that Jennifer Bongine was on TMZ and she spoke on R. Kelly getting ready for the Supreme Court. Okay. And things of that nature. So, in the process of him getting ready for the Supreme Court, we are going to sit up here and do this petition, right? So, the petition has just launched. Okay. And, it was kind of hard because initially years ago they wouldn't allow us to put up a petition um on freeing R. Kelly and things of that nature. Well, things has changed, right? Things and people have come out to know some difference, all right? So this petition reads, R. Kelly is a global superstar who is known for his hits such as I Believe I Can Fly and Ignition. In 2008, Mr. Kelly was acquitted on child pornography charges and key witnesses indicated she was not the young lady in the sex tape. In 2021 and 2022, he was convicted in New York and Illinois on child pornography charges and 3 counts of enticing a minor and engaging in sexual activities. The case had become a world interest with the Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly, in which many of the singer's scorned ex-girlfriends and ex-wife told their stories on the encounter they endured while they were in a relationship with the singer. Initially, they indicated that they were tied up, had to ask permission to eat, beaten, and held captive. After the debut airing of the docuseries, Illinois District Attorney Kim Foxx conducted a press conference asking anyone with knowledge or witnessed abuse from R. Kelly to come forward. She then set up a call line on the open airways for anyone to make a claim. Singer John Legend, who was in the documentary Surviving R. Kelly and is a known critic of the singer, was praised for his involvement in Surviving R. Kelly, not only to have ever met R. Kelly, believing rumors that were spread about R. Kelly for years. Mr. Legend proceeded to show his dislike for Mr. Kelly. However, it was all in frame. Mr. Legend was in the R. Kelly militia with Dream Hampton, Charlamagne the God, Torre, and more. Mr. Legend, before airing of Surviving R. Kelly, endorsed Kim Foxx on a campaign for district attorney. The information was discovered by a blogger on YouTube who been fired during the investigation. Such malice takedown. The blogger indicated it didn't seem genuine what was in Surviving R. Kelly. After conducting or continuing to research, he and other bloggers found information that the government was using informants on YouTube to persuade the girlfriend, Azriel Clary, who interviewed with Gayle King in 2019, only to change her mind and testify against the singer in 2021 when his funds were depleted. Another witness in 2008 case, who initially testified in her infamous sex tape, changed her mind with the government promising her restitution and Section 8 housing. She was promised between $13 and $20 million if she testified, only for the judge to deny her restitution. This is a motivating change. This is a motivation to change her mind to testify for the government. Wait, there's more. Blogger Unwind with Tasha K was the first blogger to interview the girlfriend claims without fact checking. However, she received documentation from the prison where Mr. Kelly was held before trial and gave the jail records to the parents and government's witness. This is a complete violation of Mr. Kelly's due process and violation of attorney-client privilege and more. The bottom line, once Mr. Kelly's trial has started and the juries were already biased with the one-sided documentary airing, 25 to 30 million people believing untruth of these claims. Jail records leaked. Government had him attacked after fans organized a peaceful protest, not to mention only two in the documentary were at trial and others were even witnesses of the government. One witness claimed she wasn't honest or truthful. She stalked Mr. Kelly since 2008 trial, teaming up with the journalist who was a critic of Mr. Kelly as well and indicated she lied in his book. The journalist Jim Derogatis refused to testify in 2008 and 2022. Not to mention, lobbyists and civil rights attorneys stole Mr. Kelly's moniker, slander, and sell merch on their website, hashtag mute R. Kelly. All right. So we got that up there and it is there. It is done. We have gotten it started. Okay. So I need everybody to sit up there when they get a chance, right, to go over there, right? To go over there and make sure you sign the petition. This time, I need you guys to make sure you sign this petition and to make sure it spreads around the world like none before. This is the time to get it done. This is the first of many things I have to come. All right. So here we go. We got to get this thing started. This time we're going to get it started and get it done. We still haven't forgot about the other petitions. So we're going to have those petitions as well as these petitions, as well as other petitions. So when I start getting feet on the ground, we have all of them printed up and things of that nature. Now, here, right here is what we have. We have right here. So how they do things now is a little bit different than what they used to do yesteryears. Okay, so I just want you guys to know that. Let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Let's see. I thought it was gonna be up in here. But anyway, let me see. Okay, here we go. We got it right here. That's okay. We got it right here. I'll just show y'all right here. It is no big deal. All right. So we got the flyers and everything, right? So you got the codes and everything with the flyers. All right. So we got the R. Kelly's conviction, free R. Kelly or whatever, right? So we just kept it plain and simple. We just and the cue all the information is right up here in this cue card, all right? And they can go there to sign the petition as well. So you can definitely print those flyers out, hand them out in the neighborhood, tell people what you do know about the story. So I just wanted everybody to understand what was going on, that we got the thing and everything has gotten started with this R. Kelly. So while that he's getting ready for deposition, right? It's right there in the community. The link is in my community post. I'm also finna put it right here. And let me see. In the I'm finna put the link right here. And this link right there. And then I'm finna do it, right? And then we finna, when it go up some, I'm gonna pin it. Let me see. Okay. And I pinned the message to the top. So it's right there at the top of the link. All right. So now that we know what we know and we read the transcripts and everybody know what was going on. See, before, a lot of you did not know. You want to believe women when they say that they have been assaulted. You want to believe women when they say they been this and that and all this and that. Well, when we found out some things, and one of the things that Spitting Fire found out was a lot of the times the parents was involved. I was one of the first bloggers in this particular sector who said that the parents were involved. I said that before I even came on screen in 2018. It just didn't seem right to me. The documentary aired in 2019, okay, in January, but there were claims that were coming out at the end of 2018 that was resurfaced from what happened back in the early 2000s. It just didn't make no sense. But we know that there was Me Too movement and Time's Up and all these things that cloud people's mind. Now there were, and let me be frank and fair with you guys, right? We don't condone anybody being violated here on the channel of Spitting Fire, and I'm quite sure you don't. But what we don't condone as well is when parents putting their kids up to doing some things that they shouldn't have done and that they're not being held responsible. There are other petitions to have Azriel Clary's mother, Alice Clary, arrested as well, pretending to be her daughter, pretending to be telling him that her daughter is 18. Now, the problem is with people is that they want to separate their feelings today from the law. That's not what we do today, okay? We do not separate our feelings from the law. That's not what we do. The law is the law, okay? And that's what I want to make sure you guys understand. The law is the law. which means that the age of consent all over the world is the age of 18. And it doesn't matter if you don't like it. It doesn't matter uh, if you think somebody should go to jail. It's law. Okay. So, I hear a lot of people want to rewrite law and want you to be convicted on how they feel. No, that's not how it's supposed to work. The way that the justice system has been doing now and going on doing things has been violating every man's, not just R. Kelly with this um child abuse thing or SA assaults or whatever, but the way they have been doing Young Thug and all this and that. Now like they're just it's a crazy thing. And the thing of it is nobody abiding by the law, not even this new judge, not even this new one. Those young men, and just getting off R. Kelly for a minute, because I want everybody to know that I speak for all of them. I have not yet met a blogger who actually talked about the injustice in this. They have a whole lot to say about the case and things of that nature, but the injustice in all these cases that are going on is just strictly unacceptable. And anybody, and I'm planning on doing one for Young Thug and those fellas too, but I was hoping, and I'm hoping somebody hear me now, I was hoping that someone will do one for Young Thug as well, because over there that knows the case a lot more. You're supposed to be entitled to a speedy trial. That trial has been going on 3 years by the time, and those boys been held against their will. And for the fact that they don't want them to be let free. If they were Caucasian, they would have already been free. You get what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Just as if with R. Kelly, if this was women, okay, women do not get charged with things like this. They even do Ghislaine Maxwell the way that they did him. And these women have changed their minds. They admitted that they lied. They admitted that it wasn't them. They admitted that they lied about it being about money, all kinds of stuff. If you really look at the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, only 2 of the young ladies that was in that documentary, for what I'm understanding, was actually in court. And only one, the jury didn't believe the other one. And the one that they really shouldn't have believed, they end up believing her because she said she was 16. Now, nobody has made no common sense about this R. Kelly case, right? We have federal informants on YouTube down with the government, knowing what's going on with the case, being fed by the government. A lot of the people over there were being fed by the government on what to say on YouTube. They had lawyers and they had prosecutors telling them what they say over here on the channel on Spitting Fire. I don't sit up there and be down with no one. They had lobbyists stealing his name and his moniker, Mute R. Kelly. Like, you're stealing someone's name and you're slandering it, but you're selling it for merch on your website. Okay, that's a problem to me. All right, that's a problem with me. Because if that was the case, it should have been about victims. If you really cared about victims, it wasn't about that. It was about the moniker. One of the problems I think, and I found to be interesting, is that I spoke about the Gerald Griggs situation many times here on Spitting Fire, when he was at the church talking to Jamal Bryant about him and Tim encounter when they first met him. And I'm not understanding, how is a man who don't know this man sits up here and gets people together to organize something and pulled off the biggest militia frame in history to turn 25 million people against the biggest singer in the world. Who does that? Not only have they done that and they pulled it off, but we have read transcripts and people mind still was in the Milgram stage, which means once they believe something, it's hard for them to change their minds, right? They took old rumors and reborn them and magnified it 100 times so people can believe what they want to believe. Because you got to remember, since the first trial that was in the state trial, these people weren't born. It's a lot of people that was born and now they really believe in it. there were many conversations I've had here on the channel of Spitfire pertaining to R. Kelly, right? And I went on some platforms and they just was like, they believe in it, they believe in it, they believe in it. They was like, well, they said that he did this, and they said that's not what they said. She was re-illiterate. People don't understand law. They don't understand cross-examination is part of law. They believe that everything that the government said, and they get on the stand and they say what happened. Okay, fine, what happened? That's your terms of events. But then when cross-examine comes, if what you said on direct is true, it wouldn't be so significant when cross comes, no matter how much they changed it. And that's a problem that we have. We have a situation to where in a Surviving R. Kelly documentary, which spearheaded all of this, all of these convictions and everything. One of the things that the young woman said, one of the mothers, she rescued her child. So you had other people on all these big platforms and networks talking about she had to she had to save her daughter. She had to do this with a camera crew. There's no police. There's no rescue. There's no SWAT. There's no nothing. He wasn't even there. So there's no rescue when he's not even there. They said that this man held them captive. They had to ask to eat. They had to do everything. Come to find out, when on the stand, the defense attorney showed a picture of the young lady in high heels laying on R. Kelly bed with some tight jeans on. That is far a different distinction of her wardrobe from baggy clothes. All right. That is a far. Then one of the young ladies, who was the main girlfriend at the time, Azriel Clary, it came out that she wore a crop top when she found R. Kelly and some tight jeans and all this and that and all these type of things. When we saw them, they was not wearing baggy jeans, right? Then they turn around and say he worked all the time. He was in the studio 16 to 18 hours out of the day. So I'm thinking, between sleep, between eat, between showering, between working, how does he have time to kidnap all these particular women? But then it came out at trial that he was giving them allowances. Now, from what I'm understanding, it's got to be some fucking common sense around here now. Now, people always, and especially the ones who are victims, I don't understand how you victims out here, and I'm talking to y'all who are victims, thinking that your situation is the same with R. Kelly. That happened to you in real life. R. Kelly didn't do nothing to you. R. Kelly ain't that uncle. R. Kelly ain't that friend of the family. R. Kelly ain't that stepdaddy. You ain't had that. This ain't what he did. These were girlfriends. And they have known to be girlfriends. They said they were girlfriends. Your uncle and your stepdaddy and whoever victimized you ain't claimed you to be as such. So I want you guys to understand, it's not a difference. You got so many women who are scorned and so abused and so messed up in the head, they cannot even decipher the difference between this and whatever happened to them. So they believe it's all the same. They believe that it was this man that went in their room and victimized them. And for over 6 years, I had to try to talk to them. But then there wasn't no talking to a lot of them because they would come at you with such attack. And I witnessed that because I've been abused of attack on here on Spitting Fire on YouTube. They called me all kind of names because I did not agree with them, because I took a different approach and I applied common sense off the rip. It just didn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. And it would never make sense to me. And because I see something different, I got hit with the slogan, "You a woman. What if it was your daughter?" I got hit with all of that. And I often come back, well, what if it was your son? You get what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? But the abuse that I have suffered on here from women who claim to be abused themselves turned out to be the monster that they claim that they were victimized by. They turned it to be the very same people that victimized them. And that will be including the big blogger Tasha K. Look how many people she slandered on here. Look how many people she beat up on here. Look how many men and women she go after on YouTube. But she claims to be a victim of such. You get what I'm saying? They turn out to be worse than what the people that they said victimized them. I've always encouraged people who to be victims not to stay in victimhood. If you call yourself a survivor, why would I want to stay in that state of mind when I'm trying to heal and get better? Why will I give somebody who did victimize me that kind of power? That is the type of information that I am spitting out here on Spitting Fire channel. Other channels, big mainstream channels, all these women's lib movement, all they ever do is sit up here and stroke people's ego and back and tell them you a victim and cry and play Cry Me a River song all day. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you to shake that shit off. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's sexual assault, abuse, or any other type of trauma you had in your life, we overcome a whole lot of stuff. That's why the song said we shall overcome, because we have and we done. But this movement that came to play in 2017 called Time's Up, and all these other movements came about, really crippled our culture. It turned women against men. It turned people to be untruthful. It turned people not knowing the truth from the lie, not knowing who is telling the truth and who is telling the lie. And all the while is violating every man's constitutional right when they come up with a slogan that says, believe all women. So if they believe all women, that means all men are liars. That means you're violating a man's constitutional right. When you say, believe me, and I can come back 20, 30, and 40 years and say you did something to me, most women say, well, you don't never get over it. Most women say, well, it shouldn't be no statute of limitations, but we have laws here. We have laws. We have laws that say you have a right to challenge your accuser. We have those rights. And that is why I'm sitting up here doing this petition as well. It has nothing to do with right or wrong, guilty or innocent. If the law violates the law, that person remains innocent. And that is the point I've been trying to tell everyone. People have been speaking on their emotion, talking about some, I don't care how the government did it, as long as they did it. You do not ever want to give up your constitutional right, because you may find yourself in a situation where those very rights you granted for someone else because of your damage emotion may be the rights you need someday. And this is what Spitting Fire on here is trying to tell everyone. It's not that I'm an R. Kelly fan. It's not that I don't believe these women or whatever, which I don't, but it's not the fact of that. It's the fact of the law. I've always spoke law here on Spitting Fire. No, I'm not a lawyer, but I do know injustice when I see it. And this was all injustice. The fact that a young lady in the 2008 trial said it wasn't her. And the fact that she can come back 20 years later and say now, yeah, it was me, with a 13 to $20 million promise of restitution, with a promise and a Section 8 voucher. When you get Section 8, you have it for life. You can take it everywhere. So the fact of the matter is she get all these incentives to say and change her mind with what we want you to say. These are women who sued R. Kelly. Now, there is NDAs. And the problem I have with NDAs is, in our court system, is the fact that those celebrities who have NDAs and those celebrities, and we pick and choose which celebrity we want to honor the NDA. Like if it was a Beyonce NDA, it's going to be honored. When it was R. Kelly's NDA, which I'm quite sure he had NDAs when they signed this, it's not honored. That's injustice. It doesn't matter how you like it. It doesn't matter whatever. It's injustice. We need a plain field across the line. We need everybody to abide by the same laws, not on emotion, not what we think, because we all wrong. We have to remember, if you are ever a Christian, we have to go back before BC, right? If we go back to the times before BC, we always been wrong. We were wrong when we crucified Jesus. If you are a believer, we were wrong. And it wasn't until he died, we was like, oops. And then they go sit up there and bring and make up something called resurrection, because we couldn't accept the fact that we were wrong. We have always been wrong. This is why the law allows people who have been accused to challenge the authorities of those who are putting these claims on them. If you already got your mind made up because you've seen the documentary, you are wrong. You are wrong, wrong, wrong. And if you sit up there and say, well, just because he's a 50-year-old man, he shouldn't date 18-year-old. 18-year-olds has been attracted to older men since the beginning of time. Older men are attractive. The fact is she's an adult. We set an age for a reason. Why do we set an age for a reason? Because our parents can't raise us forever. So at some point, you got to have a choice. At some point, you got to be an adult. We can't raise you forever. No matter how much we want to, no matter how much we do, we cannot do it. We can love you forever, but at some point, the choice is going to be yours. And at some point, you challenge your mama and daddy when you get a certain age. Why? Because it's called adulthood. It's called adulthood. I am grown. And let me give you a story. Just happened, and I'm going to give you something personal with me. It's just happened 2 weeks ago. My daughter and my husband had words. And I didn't say anything because it didn't involve me. But I was there witnessing. My husband gonna tell my daughter she can't drive her car. And she said, with all due respect, Daddy, I'm 22 years old. I'm too old for punishment. And she walked away. And he was standing there looking like, damn. Like, damn. Like, damn. You know, like in other words, she let it be known, like, you know, she's trying to get her own place now. She's trying to do things now. She's becoming her own. So she had to let him know, respectfully, she had to let him know, I'm breaking that tie bond. I run this now. And so the problem I was having with people was saying 18-year-olds can't date older men. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. The hypocrisy in the world is they'll say, well, 18 years old, you can't do this and you can't do that. That may be. But at the same time, how we gonna sit up there and make R. Kelly be responsible for dating someone young when in fact, we got commercials on the airwaves. We are 18. Call me now. It ain't everybody at 18 calling the 18-year-old. It's everybody that want to freak off on a woman calling that hotline to hear some sex talk. So in other words, I am saying, and why do they hire them at 18? Because you are legally an adult. You are legally an adult. Now, there are certain age restrictions beyond because you might not be financially stable at 18 as far as like renting a car or doing other things. But you are legally an adult as far as working and everything else to abide by the federal laws and government. But when you have a parent that pretend to be a daughter who's underage and says she's 18, that parent is the trafficker, not Mr. Kelly. And that is what I've been trying to tell everybody for goddamn 6 years. You cannot put a child in an adult situation and expect for the person who don't know or only go by what you tell them. You get what I'm saying? He only went by what she told him. You said you were 18. You said you were legal. So if you are legal and I'm engaged in you and you engaged with me, it doesn't matter what we think. Because what's the use of people who date older people? They do it because they want sugar daddies or they want sugar mamas. It's a time being. You got what I want right now. You got what I need right now. And then normally they will break off and normally she'll go and have a family with somebody of her age. Sometimes they even get together, have families together. But why? Because that's just the name of human nature. That's what we've been doing since the beginning of time. Right? So then they sit up there and say a whole lot of stuff about him going up to the schools and him doing this and him doing that. Well, you know, you got 18-year-olds in schools and you got all this and that. But what if he just went up to these schools to fantasize about his childhood that he didn't have when he was poor, when he was this? And it's like I made it type of situation. There were ball players who were basketball players went back to their schools to give hope, to say this is what you can do. Look, I came here. I was dyslexic, couldn't learn, couldn't read, couldn't write, and look at me. I was sitting up there on the football team or the basketball team, and I was poor coming to school, staying after school on practice. Now I'm in the NFL and in the NBA. Look at me. What if it was all those type of things? But then there was a whole lot of issues with this man, with Aaliyah. Well, he married Aaliyah when she was 15. But nobody even said anything about the lawsuit Aaliyah found with the county about that certificate, that marriage license. Nobody said anything. She even said there was nothing there. She started in a movie where she no longer worked with R. Kelly. All right. She was sitting up there. She no longer works with R. Kelly. She started the movie Romeo Must Die. And in the background, she had R. Kelly poster there. She had a Lil' Kim poster there. She was close with those two people during that time. So even though she was no longer working with R. Kelly by the time she made the movie Romeo Must Die, when you're on the set, you are responsible for everything. Somebody that's a victim of something wouldn't have nobody who victimized them in their movie, not even in the background. It doesn't make sense to me. And I'm just not the type of person who just going to believe any and everything somebody says because the mainstream media. This is what I tell y'all on here on the Spit and Fire channel. Don't believe that. Aaliyah spoke before she died. She said wasn't nothing there. Why that couldn't be? There was a fake picture that covered the mouth of Aaliyah as if she was crying out for help. And it was since taken down off the internet. You can't find it nowhere now. They lied. It was so bad 5 years ago, they even shut her mother up. They wouldn't even let her mother speak to say that it was a lie. Now, of course, when you are a singer like this, you accumulate haters. You get haters. You gonna fall out with people. You gonna get haters. It just comes with success in your family, in the world. People you fall out with in business. It's just gonna be a success. I mean, it's about your success. So when I was watching Surviving R. Kelly, and there was a documentary, and John Legend was in it, I'm thinking, why does this man who's from Chicago also, why he hate him so much? Why does he hate this man? I believe it. I believe the women. I always believe the women. Why is he marching for women so much? He was so choked up on stuff that he did see with P. Diddy. He did see that video on P. Diddy, and he didn't have nothing to say. He wasn't talking with such conviction with P. Diddy. But a man he don't know, he had all this to say. Not to mention that the woman, the district attorney who came out a day after the documentary aired, he endorsed her. So how do we believe that all this shit was fake? It was a militia frame. And that is what that petition is about. We getting ready for the Supreme Court. We need your help out here to free this man. Women have got to be responsible and take accountability for their choices as well. Yes, you do. I understand. You want to say, I can walk out here naked. Nobody should touch me. I understand your stance. But if that will only fucking happen if we lived in a utopia. I would not want to sit up, even if I had a shape like a Coca-Cola, which I once had. However, if I had a shape like a Coca-Cola bottle, I'm not walking down the street with the hopes of nobody going to take me. Why will I play Russian roulette like that? Why will I spew that out here? You have to be responsible. You have to take accountability. I'm not going to sit up there and justify what shouldn't happen and hold me and say, okay, well, it shouldn't happen, so I can do it. Why would I play Russian roulette with my safety like that? I would not do that. That doesn't make sense. And I wouldn't tell any woman to do that. But that's what these women's lib tell you. They tell you all this type of stuff. And now it's even, not only do no means no, and you got the power to say the no, because the sex only holds within the woman. The sex only holds within the woman. So men, I hope you listening out here. Women control the sex and the family. You plant the seed. You were first created, if you're a believer, but women control it. She got to control when she want to have a baby or not. The first thing she'll say is her body. Yes, with the collide of you. Let's talk about this, because I'm the only one. I think I'm the only woman that's probably on YouTube. I think I'm the only woman that's probably in the world that will actually tell the truth. You can have a baby, and the first thing you say is your body, with the help of me. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can do what you want to do with your body when there's no help of me. But when you got something I planted and it's growing, then you want to say it's yours, and everything created is you. So if I don't want to have a baby and you do, you got to say so. If you don't want to have a baby and I do, you got to say so. You have no choice here. You have no choice to have it. And not only that, with the Living Women's Lib, that means all of the liberations movement. If she decides that she changed her mind after the encounter, she can come back and call it on you. That's what they're allowing them to do. That's what they're allowing them to do. They're allowing them to come back years later and claim abuse because you didn't do, or they wasn't the one you chose to marry, have a family, or whatever else. Or they see you prospering, they want to cause turmoil in your life because they're unhappy. You didn't call me after we had a good night together. You didn't call me the next day. Oh, so now all of a sudden it's our word. You have a choice to make. You don't put yourself in those situations. Just like even with Mike Tyson, I thought I was furious, even back in the 90s. And I was a young woman, didn't know that my voice would be heard or even be used for these instances as we see today. But I always had this feeling like it was so wrong. They was like, she came to his hotel room 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Now, you got to be naive to come to a man's, or even a woman, to be in somebody's hotel room after hours. Unless it's a group meeting and we're all coming. You get what I'm saying? And not knowing what is what. Like, the women is able to play naive and victim on shit that they know what the deal is. She can consent to something, and if you make her mad, she can unconsent afterwards. So men has now found themselves in a very vulnerable state. And there's nothing like a woman scorn. And women will sell you out over money. They will sell you out over money. Just like the young lady who was on the Red Table Talk speaking with Jada Pinkett Smith. Only to find out not only in 2008 they didn't believe her, but in 2022 they still didn't believe her. Like, she stole a $250,000 watch. Put it this way, it was 6 figures. It was 100,000, 200,000, something that we can't fucking afford on the average, right? So, or even if we did afford something like that, it would have to be a house or a car. There is nothing we can spend on luxury shit, that type of stacks, right? I don't know about y'all, but I can't, right? So my point is, she stole his watch. I'm the only one out here that everybody's like, well, no man should beat a woman under no circumstances. I guess I'm the only real bitch out here that would say that's bullshit. You steal my goddamn $250,000 watch, I'm beating your ass. I will P. Diddy your ass on that video happily. And if I was a man, I will beat your ass. You steal my watch. And you gave it to your man? You gave it to another motherfucker? I'm beating your ass. Damn it, Ron, call the police. Call them. Because if he ever should be in jail right now, it should have been for beating her ass. Now, if he was in jail for beating her ass, I'd be like, okay, and I would be happy to send him some damn commissary. But this here is strictly injustice. It would have been injustice if he beat her ass. How these women get away with the shit that they get away with? Say the shit that they said on the stand. Then she gets on the stand and said, the ladies asked her on Cross, and that's the part that y'all don't even pay attention to. Shout out to the infamous, shout out to Dottie, shout out to all those who were reading the transcript. I think Dana J went down there to the courthouse, Hollywood. Shout out to all those bloggers who went down there. I've had gotten into it with all those bloggers, but the one thing I can say, they were boots on the ground, and I've always given them that respect for the work that they have done. I can never take that away from them. I contribute to a lot of them because I wanted to make sure that they had what they need, or I can contribute to what it is that they need while they were giving us the transcript so we can read it for you. But there's no reason to read transcripts for you if you're going to already have your mind made up. I had motherfuckers who was arguing with me about the R. Kelly situation and found themselves on a damn sex offenders registry, whether it was jest or in jest. So how is it that your shit was a mistake, but when we tell you about his and this a transcript, you ain't trying to hear it? It's the hypocrisy and all this shit. People want to sit up here and decide when they want to sit up here and believe somebody. We all know now that them motherfuckers was lying. We were fooled. Many of you were fooled. You seen that documentary and you thought he was the worst of the worst. Now it ain't making no goddamn sense. Now all this shit coming out, and big bloggers on here, like I told y'all 5 years ago, they get paid by, a lot of the time, they get paid by mainstream media. They get sent endorsements and they get sent all this to spread the propaganda, to spread the message that they wanted to. Me, I get motherfucking hindered all the time. I get shadow banned here all the time on YouTube because I'm not going to sit up there and deal with that. Like, you not finna put my men in prison over these goddamn scandalous hoes. I mean, and I mean it. I say it just like I mean it. Because anytime you can do something vindictive and malicious as this, you scandalous. This is some scandalous shit. Real fucking talk. And then Lisa Van Allen, get her ass on the damn stand and say her baby daddy beat her. Then why the fuck you ain't trying to put his ass in jail? All these damn, you on Red Table Talk and on all these talk shows, you was like, oh yeah, he was really beating me. He was beating me. R. Kelly didn't beat me, but he was beating me. And I'm thinking to myself, really, that's why the jury didn't believe her. They shouldn't have believed goddamn, they shouldn't have believed, what's the girl name? Geronda Pace. What about her when she said she sued R. Kelly and gave his friend some money? Why would she give his friend some money on one of his workers? This is the same worker who allowed her in his house while he wasn't there. But see, the judge didn't allow that information in at trial. Why? Because there was something called a 412 where you can't ask a young woman about her sexual encounters. I understand that. But if she claiming she was in a sexual relationship with him and the friend or the worker works with him, it is damn well it needed to be in here. But that's the type of injustice that was going on in this goddamn case. That's the type of shit that was going on in this motherfucking case. And I'm not understanding that. Like, why would you give another man some money? Why would they take money from this man and give it to the other man? And ain't nobody saying shit about the shit. Why would Tasha K give the jail records to the parents of the government's witness? So you don't think they gave it to the government? That's a violation of his rights and due process. It don't matter what the fuck you think he's guilty of. And then the young lady who's supposed to be in this P-tape, Rashonda Landfield, let's talk about her for a second. She said her auntie Sparkle was talking to her about her and R. Kelly's sex life. Why she ain't in jail for being inappropriate with a minor? Why would I be 20-something years old talking to somebody who's supposed to be 12 about my sex life? Then she testified and said she told me to sit on his lap and rub my head. I can't think of R. Kelly thinking that this girl was anything younger. I can't think him thinking that. And then she said, oh yeah, when I turned 18, I had sex with the wife too. Something ain't right here, y'all. Something ain't right. They all lying. Them motherfuckers lying. And then here you go, motherfucking Andrea Kelly walking around here shaking and twisting all on the floor, doing her choreography as if that shit wasn't even out here, because y'all made it to be okay for women to be predators. Women are predators. This man only got one damn penis. And if you got to really think about the shit, let's think about the shit. When they were talking and before they arrested him, they said Azrael was reading and handling everything for him. If he got an 18-year-old handling everything for him, how bad is his cognitive ability to read and write and his academics level? Like, what the fuck? So you mean to tell me he got this young lady taking care of his finances and personal business and things of that nature? So it sounds like to me, by him being the one with the disability, he was the one taking advantage of. See, y'all don't pay attention to that. Y'all think he older, so he the one who abusing them. But what about if they were younger and they abusing somebody older? Y'all was saying that shit about Aoki when she was dating that old man, Russell Simmons' daughter. They was like, he shouldn't be with her. He too old for her. Well, what about her too young for him? There is a thing called senior abuse. Yes, there is. There is a thing called senior abuse where you using these old men for their money, taking advantage of them. Because she knew when the money ran out, she left. When the money ran out and R. Kelly it seemed like he wasn't getting out, I thought she was held captive. What kind of victims know, you know what I'm saying? And then, oh my God, don't even talk about the Savages. They daughter ain't even in the case, and they just out here on all kinds of craziness. They keep talking, and somebody will put them in a straitjacket. I hope to God they see this video right here. I hope they're in the bushes. Please get your ass off of damn social media. Quit fucking with the lawyers and everything else for somebody put your ass in a straitjacket. Y'all ain't got the brain or the mind God gave you. All right? And I'm just here from Spin Fire. Something wrong with y'all. That's why I don't talk about y'all that much. Y'all some special type of people. And I could see that from miles away. And the fact that Gerald Griggs took your case, he's greedy. But not to mention the fact that there was an attorney named Michael Avenatti. Now, I done broke this down many a times too. Michael Avenatti was Stormy Daniels when it came to the Trump situation. But before there was a Stormy Daniels, he was down with the Clarys and Geronda Pace and trying to get R. Kelly. So he was in everything conniving. And he's even went to jail. Why is it that all these people that was down with the militia frame of Mr. Kelly have criminal records? They had this one lady on here, and I done did a story on her. She got 5 mugshots, y'all. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. You got 5 mugshots, and you out here claiming victim. You out here thugging. You out here going back and forth. You out here jailing. And you mean to tell me he would victimize you and you out here jailing, stealing? What else? She was in jail for stealing, stalking, extortion. She's a straight up thug. Really? 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 Like you can't even make this up. And they put her some makeup on, put her a weave on, got her a BBL, and now she looking like she goddamn, like she Miss America. We believe that. We believe that we fucked this up. We fucked up. But they were good with the shit. Because I was the first one to tell you before I came on screen that these motherfuckers was in a conference room. I found the photo and it's so buried in my computer. I'm so mad at myself. They were in a conference room. And I told you, I said they was in a conference room, a long conference room like them big CEOs have. And they had R. Kelly picture in his itinerary all throughout, hanging all on the wall. These weren't police officers. These were the lobbyists and organizers. They plotted and planted this shit so well. So fucking well. So well that they even had a watch party. So it was R. Kelly, The Reckoning, R. Kelly Part 2, and then it was the original R. Kelly. Now, why would you have all these steps of R. Kelly? And every time the documentary aired, it was when his trial was finna start. And even Gerald Griggs, the civil rights attorney that was for the Savages, the one I've been talking about recently, he had a watch party. And in that watch party at the church was all of the media. It was all of the media. This shit is crazy. So I'm thinking to myself, why the fuck would they need a watch party for someone who they said is guilty? Why? And then I couldn't think of it. I was like, now let's just count on our hands. Can we do some simple basic stuff on some common sense? Let's just do it for a minute. Let's do it for a minute. Because I'm not for R. Kelly like right now. I'm for common sense. Like I've been speaking that forever. We have been infiltrated. We have been distracted. We have been everything. Now is the time to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Now, between R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, and so many others that were accused of SA, right? So it's fair to say, out of everybody we know, and no disrespect to Bill, I'm quite sure, Bill Cosby back in the 60s and 50s had his day. But Bill Cosby close to 90, right? Has 60 accusers or so. Harvey Weinstein. Now, let's just say Harvey Weinstein, the big movie guy, right? Miramax. He had 40 accusers. The one that is most attractive out of everyone has 4. Wait a minute. And there was, let's get it. There was a press conference by Kim Fox to tell anybody to come forward, and all you got was 4. Everybody else was prior bad acts witnesses, people that R. Kelly made mad. 4. But then there was a guy. Now they supposed to be for witness. They said that R. Kelly did something to them. You don't hear about them no more. Where they at? You ain't hear about them since they testified. I don't even think that really, they was the only 2. So now he gay just with them 2. He ain't gay with nobody else, just with them 2. Ain't no other man came forward. Ain't nobody else came forward. And the way that he was acting in the courtroom, like, yeah, I got you. You ain't helped me get my record deal. I got you. Everybody wanted a record deal. So if I'm mad at a guy who found himself in a bind and I can testify, and this is my way of getting back at your ass, yeah, I'm going to say you did something to me. But I ain't showing my face or nothing because I don't want nobody in the hood to think that I am G-A-Y. It's interesting. It's some interesting shit. And it's one of the things that I just never, ever, 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 and stole money. And then when R. Kelly cussed Lisa Van Allen out for stealing, the jury painted it like he's been abusive. Like it's a nice way to talk to somebody who you caught stealing from you. So you mean to tell me if I come in either one of y'all houses and y'all know me and I steal from you, y'all gonna tell me something politely? No. You gonna cuss my ass out if not kick my ass. But when I sit here on Spitting Fire, y'all act like y'all don't understand what I'm talking about. Since when did people stop acting like they were human? This damn movement got y'all weak. Yeah, there's a time when you got to kick somebody's ass. You got to remember there was a movie called A Time to Kill. There was a movie called A Time to Kill. Why did they name it that? Because there are certain circumstances that it's time for you to go there. So if we in the world go act as if ass kickings ain't necessary, woman or man, and we live in this utopia world like y'all do, y'all need to stop that shit. Y'all need to stop that shit for real. That's fake as fuck. Cause you steal my goddamn watch. I told you before, I'm kicking your ass. We tearing this motherfucker up. $100,000? Shit, we tearing this motherfucker up. I'm beating your ass. Hell, I'll beat your ass for a whole lot less, let alone $100,000. I'm trying to, the police go see me and pull me off your ass before they put the cuffs on me. That's how much on your ass I'm gonna be. But y'all act like that ain't no reason for nothing. We live in a utopia world. So I don't understand why y'all say that shit and y'all be on the internet fighting. See, I told you I keep it funky. If you go, you know what I'm saying? I keep it funky, like it's just what it is. There's a time to kill. There is. People say there's no reason. There is thing called justifiable homicide. There is. There was a movie where a man got off. Carly Hazley. You remember that movie when they did them boys did some things to his daughter? He said, I can't get it out of my mind. She said, I called for your daddy. I can't get it out of my mind. They got to go. It was his sanity or their life. And he walked up out the courtroom. Y'all acting brand new. R. Kelly don't need to be in the courtroom. R. Kelly don't need to be behind bars. Alice Clary, Angelo Clary, and Sparkle need to be behind bars. They need to be behind bars. Jerron Pace need to be sued. And so is Lisa Van Allen and so many others. So, for the first step on making to correct our wrong for being wrong, for allowing that documentary, because you got to remember what Dave Chappelle said in his Sticks comedy special that he had a few years ago. He told y'all what Dream Hampton did. She came to him and said, you want to be in a documentary? It's against R. Kelly. He said, no, why would I want to be in the documentary? So she was having anybody in the documentary. Anybody in the documentary anybody that want to be in the documentary could have been in the documentary. Hell, I was even asked, did I want to be in a documentary? I was like, no, I don't want to be in no goddamn documentary. Why would I be in a damn documentary? I don't know this man. I'm not finna be in no goddamn documentary. They was in a documentary. Dave Chappelle told Dream Hampton there's one reason why I don't want to be in a documentary. Because I don't know his ass. Why will I be in a documentary if I don't know? That's the same thing I told you. John Legend don't know him. How is these people in a documentary? And let's talk about the people that were in the documentary. You got Wendy Williams. She ain't said nothing about a man good since they all turned her down. And that even go from Method Man all the way to R. Kelly. Because she couldn't get them in the bed. Let's just keep it a buck. We all know the story. Charlamagne the God got his own issues. Let alone in a documentary called Surviving R. Kelly. And he got a victim, a real living one. And Me Too movement is supposed to help victims. They ignored her. She said she went to Me Too and Tarana Burke ignored her. Now, I thought they were really real. Just like Black Lives Matter ain't real. That shit was fake. You don't see them marching and pouring out a whole lot over Sonia Massey. Why? Because they don't like the Democrats. The liberations movement in the Democratic Party fell out. You don't even hear Tarana Burke coming out. You don't hear none of that. The agenda is crumbling. The agenda is crumbling. You got to remember, your damn vice president trying to be president was marching with Time's Up. I told you, men, it ain't about who you like. It's about policy. You don't have to like Donald Trump. But to protect your own goddamn interests against Time's Up and Me Too, you better vote for him. That's your only hope right now. Especially if you are a celebrity man. Shit, you better not go left. You can be a registered Democrat. You can't afford to go left. You can't afford to. You better restore your constitutional rights. Because you're going to lose them. You're going to lose them. You don't want a big government. I told you that a long time ago on Spitting Fire. That government with the Democrats is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It get too big, they going to overthrow the people. That's why they're trying to take your guns away. Your AR-15s and all this and that, because actually that's your Second Amendment. They take that away, you restrict your gun rights, you fucked. They even have people going into schools. I'm just keeping it a buck. Doing kids, because they trying to play on your emotion. If they can cause an emotional outcry, you go vote the way they want you to and give up all rights of humanity. So I'm just saying. It is what it is. You know? And then y'all sit up here and say some shit like, some dumb shit. These girls were of age. Let's keep it a buck. They were of age. All this, he having sex with kids, that damn rumor, y'all believe that bullshit. Because the girl said, oh, I was underage. They ain't get the restitution they want. Well, I was lying. The government wanted me to lie. Oh, it's too late now. He was sentenced. So you coming over here with that bullshit, get y'all the way it is. You can be lying all you want to. But we are now rising up. We got the petition going. He's now going to the Supreme Court. And we finna tell the truth. We gonna tell the truth all over again. Because there's more y'all now understanding and then listening. And there's more y'all got some damn mind. All right? Ain't nobody said nothing about the auntie She said, well, my auntie told me to sit on his lap and rub his head. Your auntie told you to do that. And ain't nobody saying, no, they should be in jail. None of y'all. Even the haters over here. They so jealous of this man, it don't make no motherfucking sense. Men have always been jealous of him. I don't know why. He ain't asked for it. He got 2 legs, 2 arms, just like everybody else. Shit. And it ain't nothing but a damn number. Shit. You got motherfuckers, a 13-year-old out here who killed a homeless man. Her and her friend beat him to death. Talk that shit. Talk that shit. Let's talk it. Let's talk the shit. I'm here for it. Let's talk it. If you think you can come up against the dragon, let's talk it. Let's talk it. Because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All right? I don't want to hear that shit. She got on the stand and said it wasn't her. For $20 million, 20 years later, she said it was her. Hell, I would have said it was me for $20 million damn dollars. Shit, y'all would have said it was y'all for $20 million goddamn dollars. And then guess what the government did to her? Guess what they did to her? She testified, got her Section 8, and then they told her they ain't giving her no money. She ain't getting no money, y'all. They used them girls up. They used them up. They used them up. See, I'm the only one that has to talk the shit that's real. Everybody else talk that emotional shit. I'm not going to talk no emotional shit. I'm going to talk that real shit. If they are innocent, because let's talk about it. Y'all say all kids are innocent. Then why do we have all these kids going to damn prison? If they are innocent, then why do we have kids going to prison? Let's talk about it. Why the parents ain't in jail? Nobody want to ever talk about why the parents ain't in jail. When the mother pretended to be Azriel and told R. Kelly she was 18, why she ain't in jail? Why? Y'all ain't got nothing to say. It doesn't even matter. Y'all ain't got nothing to say. Because they was of age. Who yet told us they was of age? The person who helped took them down. The person who helped took him down told that they were of age. So we know better now. All the women who sat up there and was talking shit, all the men who sat up there and was talking shit, now they know what they know. We know what we know. Let's sit up here and see what we know. Because it was one guy. Let's see what we know. This is my channel. Let's listen. And let's listen. Let's go back down memory lane before we get into the connecting these dots. Now it is a slight echo because my audio was messed up then. Strategize. How can I help? Because legally there weren't too many options. But what we had to do was. And so I broke this down. I had to fight to get my channel back. When I did that, okay. And I had to fight to get my video back too. And so, like Tim said 3 years ago when they came in my office. Okay, all right. So when they came in my office, after he called me, and we're gonna listen to it. And so, like Tim said 3 years ago when they came in my office. Okay, all right. Okay. Y'all heard what she said. Did y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all heard that. I'm finna come back on here. Did y'all hear that? She said at the end of the day, I was an adult. So let's do that because there's nothing like uh uh let me see. There's nothing like when people tell you themselves. It's nothing like when people tell you themselves. Ooh, it's nothing like it. And because I'm telling you, talking and knowing the truth about some things is woo. I tell you, it's one of those things, right? So let me see what we can bring up here. Okay. Uh let's see. Let me see. Cause we got all this. We got a lot. We got a lot going on. This is some stuff. When they talking about she was at the end of the day, I was an adult. Oh really? Oh really? You were an adult. And yet we got people who want to say you were kids. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of shit that pisses me off all the time. Right? Let me see. I'm trying to see if we got that again. Let me see. Mm-hmm. Okay. Family. And she said no because R. Kelly wouldn't allow it to happen. This is how she lied on R. Kelly during that meeting in the church. She in the church line, let alone drunk.
She said, I asked her, did she ever talk about her family? She said, no, because that would be disrespectful to him. And he would feel that that was disrespectful to him to speak to about their family. And if they did, they would get beat. Wow. So they were not allowed to talk about any of their past, any of their family members, sisters, brothers, grandparents.
So this is what she said Azrael said. And then after that, I'm gonna show y'all what Azrael actually said. She said
cousins or whatever that they knew in their past, and they would get beat for that, punished. I want to ask Doctor.
so what she was saying right there was when Azrael came home to her father, she said she asked Azrael, did Joyce and ever talk about her family? And she said Azrael said no, we were not. She was not allowed to talk about her family because if she was, she'd get beat. This is what she said, right? You heard that. Matter of fact, let me play that one more time because I want to make sure. Well, I don't know how to rewind it, but I will play it later. Let me play this up. Hold on. Family, you want this? It's fine. Especially when I talk to your better half at that time. He make it seem like it's a game. And you ain't gonna play games with me with my chat. So the devil was with him, he wasn't dictating that to you. So that's where me and his war started. If he was dictating it to you, you could have put it off by calling me saying, hey, Dad, it ain't like that, I'm good, this and that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Robert would ask me to call you guys, and no matter what city we were in, he would say, is this your father's number or is this your mother's number? And it would say, call me. And I would say, yes, that is my father's number. He's like, you need to call him. And I would say, I'm not going to call him. Because at that point, the only thing I get is bickering every time I pick up the phone. So if I can avoid it, if I can enjoy myself in this nice little penthouse lobby in New York for the weekend, I'm going to enjoy my weekend. It was very suffocating because I was an adult at the end of the day, period. Okay, so she said she was an adult at the end of the day. All right, period. Right. So if you want to go over to listen to that, that is my the same people who took down Trump took down R. Kelly video, and it's at the 1:55 minute mark. You can listen to that right there. Okay, turn your volume up. You can go listen to it yourself. So, regardless of what people saying in my chat, who mad that I'm speaking on this right now, I'm telling you the truth. All right, because she said at the end of the day she was an adult, right? So we already have it, right? And it was already said, and we already know, right? What we know. So R. Kelly is getting ready for the Supreme Court, and we're gonna get ready with him, right? So we're gonna sit up there, put this petition up, okay? We got it up, right? The petition is now up. Let me see. Let me see. Here it is. There you have it. It's pinned at the top. If you donate, when you donate, you do not donate to me. You donate to change.org because that's the way they spread the petition. All right. So it doesn't go to me. It's not my company. It's not my website. This is change.org. All right. So when you donate to change.org, that pushes the petition. See, it says support change.org. That it pushes the petition for other people to see it, more and more people to see it and get and sign the petition and stuff like that. We do have a flyer as well. I'm gonna show you the flyer. Uh, Let me see. I just showed y'all. Let me see. I had that flyer somewhere. I know I had that flyer. Hold on. I had that flyer somewhere. Or whatnot. Let me see. Oh, I got the petition. Okay. So I put the flyer up on the change.org. I put that up in my community tab from Change. Yeah, I just put the petition flyer up on my community tab. So it's back there. And this is the first time I ever actually did a petition for Rob. I've always did a petition for to play his music or for Azriel's mother to be locked up, but I did not change. I never did one for Rob. So this is the actual petition for R. Kelly, okay? The actual one, right? And when I print this out, getting more signatures or whatever, when I print this out, I'm definitely going to take it to where I want it to go. Okay. We getting it started over here. All right. On the channel of Spin Fire. And you got to understand something. Those were the people that was in the chat Those were the ops. Okay. Every time I talk about doing a petition or anything for R. Kelly, they come strong. All right. They come real strong because they are the ones who help with the frame militia. They're part of the frame militia that I was telling you about in the petition. As you can see, they were in here and they left. Okay. So they help. Now they back. So right. So those are the frame militia, and they come in different channel names because I don't allow them to say the other name. All right. And so it's not, my minds is on it. He is on it. He is on it. So they ain't stopping nothing this time. If there's nothing else that they can really do, when we were talking, they were really working on getting him locked up and all this fake framing, this militia they was in, to where they were falsely accusing and setting up this man in hopes to gain something. There's something behind the scenes that they want to gain. Okay. And we're just going to throw a monkey wrench in it, and we stepping our game up. All right. So I hope everybody understand. We finna get this thing started. The petition is right pinned at the top. Okay. It's pinned at the top. Make sure you go there, sign the petition. Okay. Spend some money so it can get spread around. Make sure you sign it. All right. Because we got to get this thing going. We got to get it started. It's about time. It's needed. And this is the perfect time to do it. Okay. Because he's getting ready. He's being deposed as we're talking. Okay. Jennifer Bongine was on TMZ. Yesterday was trending in the news about R. Kelly getting ready for the Supreme Court, about the BOP officer and all this and that. So the injustice behind this finna be exposed. And this is the year, like Cat Williams said, everything will be exposed in the year 2024. So we're going to help get it exposed, all right? And I'm going to need y'all to help it, all right? So make sure you sign it. Take care, all right? This has been fire. We're going to free our